Welcome to Red River Stadium tonight, where the Bossier City Steamer fans are rocking in quite possibly this team's biggest game since the team moved up north into Louisiana. Alongside Charles Doherty, I am Cameron Irvine, Ellie Diomas, J.W. Hartshorn, Ron Haynes, in our stats truck tonight. The Steamers 5-5, feeling like this is their moment. Houston at 7-3 needs to turn the tide and stop the streak. Losers of 3 of their last 4. Charles, this one should be incredibly exciting tonight as the South comes down to the wire.
Big time game for Monday night. Like you said, both of these teams need to win. Houston's on the road coming in. They don't slack too much on the road. Their stats kind of stay the same when they're on the road versus at home. But they're down a couple players tonight, and most importantly, their kicker is off the field. This could be, if this is going to be as close as I think it's going to be, it could really turn the tide late in the fourth quarter when they have a backup person lining up as either punter or kicker.
Here in season 26, this is the 25th meeting between Houston and Bossier City all time. The Headhunters lead the series 13-11, but the Steamers have won 2 seasons in a row, and for the 4th straight year, it all comes down to the end of the season. Kick it. We are underway from Bossier City, and 3 yards deep in the end zone. Houston takes this one out past the 28-yard line. No, that is not the final score of the game, conspiracy theorists. Our numbers just are not updating for some reason. And we start with John Lakeman with the football. And there we go. The house is rocking here tonight in Bossier City, Shreveport, Northwest Louisiana. John Lakeman will start under center. And they're going to toss it out to Tino Sosa, and he's only going to pick up a yard. Tackle made by Bogey Barr.
In a chat before game time, I spoke with DR Sim for Houston. He said he wants to get a little bit more active in the passing game early in the game. It seems that his last couple books have been passing more in the second half, and he's looking to see a little bit more here early.
Deli, that's hilarious. Bonus bingo numbers. We'll get to bingo a little bit later. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Peace goes in motion, and the handoff goes to Warren Murray. Well, that's 2 runs to start the game for Houston, picking up 4 to set up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're pounding the outside so far early in this game, and the blue, you said blue before the game. The Columbia Blue Bossier City defenders are very fast and close it quickly.
Lakeman on 3rd and 5. That pass is complete. Greg Corky with the reception, and let's meet the rest of the Houston Headhunter offense. It is John Lakeman, Tino Sosa, Warren Murray, and Hattori Hanzo in the backfield. Greg Corky, DR Sim, Mac Chima at wide receiver, Daisy Peace at tight end, Grit Gorski, Barry Simeon, Emmanuel Petrilla, Sarah Bergens, and Scott Calvin up on the line. You'll see them all throughout the night. 1st down and 10, empty backfield here for Houston. 2-by-2 set as Sim goes in motion. Sim being chased across the formation by Michaela Foraker. Lakeman to throw against a 4-man rush, dumps it underneath. That pass is complete for a 5-yard pickup. That's Mac Chima with his first catch.
Yep, it's man-to-man on that play, Cam, and they're expecting to probably, after they sent Sims in motion, to maybe do a flood there if they saw zone, but that defense was locked up, and good coverage only kept it to 5.
2nd down for the Headhunters. 2 minutes in, toss play Sosa. Sosa's got a 1st down and more. There goes Tino Sosa, and then ripped down by the face mask as Bossier City makes a key 15-yard penalty error early in this one. The infraction called on Foraker.
Their heads get ripped around so fast, Cam. I'm surprised we don't get any injuries on those.
It would be kind of low-key cool if we did, though, right? I mean, that
like the head rolls off. No, sorry, that's too extreme.
It's a virtual head. 7:40 to go.
Sorry.
In the first quarter. I woke up and chose violence today. Sosa on another pitch to the left side, and Sosa breaks another tackle, getting down to about the 10-yard line. Houston is killing Bossier City out left so far.
Yeah, so forget about the passing game. Man, if you got your halfback running as well as Sosa is tonight, just keep feeding the ball.
2nd down and inches. And they toss it again. This time Warren Murray in the backfield. So 4 different or 4 similar tosses, rather. A loss of 2 yards on the play, however, 3rd and 2.
Wow, that was not a favorable spot in my humble opinion, but I think they're in a good spot either way, 3rd and 2.
6:50 to go in the first quarter. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and Bossier City gets a stop. That's bogey bar again. And after all that, Charles, after that terrific first drive, it's going to end in a 28-yard field goal attempt by the new Houston kicker, or temporary replacement kicker, Jeff Reed, who's called into action very quickly in this game. And Reed's field goal is up and good, although drifting to the right. 3-0 Headhunters on the board first.
They showed how solid their running game is up until they got into the red zone, and the defense of Bossier City just locked it down and didn't have a shot. And hats off to the defense for Bossier City. They kind of were a little on the upside down side here, trying to catch up with Houston being at home. I think they wanted to fix it, and they did on that last drive.
So Houston will kick off to the Bossier City Steamers, as this is a pretty good return up to the 32-yard line. That return by Jeff Bamfield. And out comes Jack Wigmore, who honestly I think is having a pretty underrated season this year. 2nd in QBR, 2nd in touchdowns.
He's having a great year. I mean, anytime you're above the touchdown to interception ratio, you're having a pretty darn good season in this league.
Wigmore coming over from Baltimore and has not missed a beat. They will toss it out to the left side, and that's a broken tackle for Rob Noel to the Houston 45-yard line, a mirroring image of the Headhunters' first drive.
It started with good blocking on the edge there, but after Noel got past the tackle, that was power. Showed a little bit of stiff arm there, got past the defender, and added another 5 to 8 yards after that.
Rob Noel last week, 15 carries, 43 yards, and a 20-10 loss to Anchorage. That game was a slugfest between two playoff hopefuls. Noel, 579 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. First down and 10. They hand it off to Robert Nimchek, and Nimchek is dropped right around the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by Blake B. Craze. The Bossier City Steamer offense includes Jack Wigmore, Rob Noel, Robert Nemchek, Speedy Gonzalez in the backfield, Aiden Teixeira, Ladam McBrownski, Vin Calia, Jeff Bamfield at receiver. Tight end is Garrison Blue. We'll get to the line in a moment as Wigmore's pass is caught by Blue. Down to the Houston 29-yard line, first down.
That pocket was breaking down quickly, and Wigmore just stood in there, the veteran that he is, was able just to deliver a laser-focused, accurate pass to Blue. Not a fancy route for Blue. Put the ball right over the shoulder of Sokasi, and we're looking at a first down.
Wigmore 10th in the league in completions, and he spreads the ball around quite a bit. 40 catches for Vin Calia, 39 now for Garrison Blue, 30 for Ladam McBrownski, 25 for Jeff Bamfield, 20 to Rob Noel out of the backfield. First down and 10, 5:05 to go in the first. The handoff up the middle, not much room there, maybe a half a yard. That is Jason Peace, and let's meet the rest of the Houston Headhunter defense. Mac Dre, Don Rohr, and Alex Dominguez up front. Anthony Stover is inactive. Jason Peace, Juan Mississippi, and Blake B. Craze at linebacker. Dustin Sakasi, John Barnhart, Kai Cash, Guy Incognito, Allingham III, and Chris Henry in the secondary. This is a deep drop back from Wigmore, and that pass is caught by Blue in between two defenders down to the 6-yard line.
That was just like a mirror of the last play where Wigmore delivered that picture-perfect pass. Look at the bottom of the screen, the pocket breaking down just at the last second, flipped it, and had sees the arm strength for Wigmore there, going down the field at 120 miles an hour into the waiting arms of the tight end. I don't know how he caught that either.
First and goal for the Steamers. They'll flip it off to their halfback. They love to throw it out to them in goal-to-go situations, but Houston all over it. Kai Cash on the tackle.
Yeah, and Henry helped out as well, closing that down quickly.
28 was the first bingo number of the night earlier, folks, so 28 and 3 were your first two off the board. Second down and goal, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Bossier is trying to answer the Houston Headhunter field goal on their opening drive. Play action, Wigmore, and it's Blue. Touchdown, Bossier City.
Blue's 7th touchdown of the season. and that is the unicorn of the SFL, the elusive play action pass. We saw it on that one, and it definitely caught the defense off guard there and had a little bit of separation, which was just enough for Blue, and he deserved it after a couple great great receptions on that last series.
An excellent opening drive for Bossier City's offense, and Mickey Malillo will knock in the extra point. It's the Steamers 7 and the Headhunters 3. Wanted to mention the bars up front, Yogi, Rogi, and Stogie, and then Juke and Rukin at center, keeping us all sane up front for Bossier City. Jukin, in his 14th season of SFL action, has been a staple, spent every single season with this franchise, despite the franchise changing hands a number of times during that time, Charles, as Houston gets it up to the 32. Bossier City, Alamo City, Lone Star, Seattle. Rukin's been here through it all.
I'm going to do a dad joke here. The bars, the offensive line for Bossier City, that's the only bar that's okay to be closed.
That's an alcoholic dad joke, is how I'm
Not
understanding.
alcoholic. It could be anything. It could be a fingernail bar. It could be
Oh, I see.
ice cream bar. I don't know where your mind goes, Cam, but you need to have a talk.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. You don't have to talk about me. I'm the furthest thing away from an AA meeting. Don't need that. 1st and 10 at the 32. People that don't know me will think I'm an alcoholic. Hand off to Tino Sosa, and that picks up 4 yards around the left side. 2nd and 6 coming up.
You're convection addicted. Not convention. Well, that too.
What does that even mean?
Sweets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see,
Convection.
I don't know the names for things. Hand off to Warren Murray, and that's no gain on the play. 3rd and 6. We're not on the same page tonight, Charles.
Can you focus on the game, please? I don't know where you are tonight.
I'm in a 3rd and 6, just like Houston is. They need an answer right here. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Lakeman dropping a throw, and Lakeman down the middle, throws to Chima, but it is knocked away. Pass defended by Zach Holdorf, and Houston goes 3 and out on their second possession.
That was a big hit by Holdorf, and he's been doing it his whole career. Thought we were going to have another amazing catch tonight, just like we've seen the tight end for Bossier City, Garrison Blue. It didn't happen that time.
Garrison Blue, career high, by the way, in touchdowns this season with 7. His previous high was 4. Back-to-back seasons as McBrownski returns that one up to the 31-yard line. And we get another look at Houston's defense that didn't have an answer for Blue and the rest of the Steamers on the opening drive.
I mean, no hits on the Bossier City offense at all. They had a perfect game plan for that first series, executed it. A couple of very successful runs, but man, I think the key, like we said before, was the timing between Wigmore and Garrison Blue.
So 2:37 to go in the first quarter as the Steamers will drop to throw and fire it again to Garrison Blue's got all 4 of 5 of Wigmore's targets for a Steamer first down.
Unbelievable. They got to bump him at the line, do something, but whoever's assigned to covering him tonight is 2-3 steps behind.
Just right into the second.
Way too wide open.
Right in the second level of that zone. Guy incognito. All right, we got our bingo numbers up, Charles, and do the honors for me, please.
Tonight's numbers are 3, 7, 6, and 28.
Wigmore changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 2:03 to go, first quarter. The handoff goes to Rob Noel. He got a block, but nobody got Chris Henry. It's the Kings' first tackle tonight, 2nd and 6.
So it's early in the game, but so far it looks like the Houston defense is more in react mode than attack. And I know DeMond's doing everything he can on the sideline, trying to change that up a bit.
Heavy look. They toss it out to Nimchek, and he's not going to get away from Al Ingram III. It'll set up a 3rd down in inches. That is the 8th tackle of the night for Houston by 7 different players. 3rd down.
I think Houston needs a little bit of win here, a win on the defense if they can hold ESC, Bossier City here, dead in their tracks.
Heavy look. And it's a Wigmore sneak. I should have called it, Charles. They showed that camera angle of the two defensive tackles kind of wide open. And, I mean, Wigmore just ran right through a big lane.
He didn't bend his knees until 5 yards downfield.
That, that was a missed opportunity. And, again, Houston is leaving that middle open for Wigmore here on 1st down and 10. Wigmore, again, changes the play at the line of scrimmage. The Steamer offense doing just about whatever they want here in the first quarter. Blue goes in motion. This is Wigmore dropping a throw. Wigmore's got a clean pocket. He will dump it off to Vincalia for a 4-yard pickup.
You know you're a veteran quarterback out there when you just, the pocket is starting to break down a little bit. You just take those 2 side steps, gives you enough time to do the rest of your progressions. And, it's not a first down, but you're moving the ball down the field.
6 of 6 for 63 yards so far for Wigmore. Drops to throw again, and this time Jack Wigmore will take off and run. Wigmore is actually pulled backwards, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 2, but we have reached the end of the first quarter of play, and how about it? Bossier City's had the ball just twice. They're trying to make it 2 for 2 on touchdown drives. Houston with a field goal and a punt as we've hit the start of the second quarter on the Monday Night Spectacular right here on the Virtual Football Network, along with J.W. Hartshorn, Ellie Diomas, and Ron Haynes in the stats truck. Charles Doherty is the analyst. I am Cameron Irvine, SFL commissioner and play-by-play artiste. This is a 3rd and short. Again, the middle was open, but it's Rob Noel on a pitch. Rob Noel with a stiff arm, and Rob Noel's got a 1st down to the 17-yard line of Houston.
There needs to be a player award for the amount of stiff arms in a game.
He would definitely take the medal tonight so far. Rob Noel, 37 yards on his first 3 carries with a long of 20. Wigmore dropping a throw and into the end zone. That is the first incompletion as he was looking for blue once more.
Yeah, this time the strong safety Henry had great coverage there in the middle. Wasn't going to let anything come into his zip code.
2nd down, 9:38 to go in the first half. As Houston waits patiently for their next opportunity. Hopes they are not down by multiple scores by the time they get the football. That pass is caught by Kalia and getting into the end zone. Bossier City's got their 2nd score, and Jack Wigmore with his 2nd touchdown.
That was a perfectly timed pass. You could see the defender didn't get the number, but was blazing across the field to close that down. Got it right in the arms of Kylie at the last second. Got able to power it in with that strength to add 6.
I think he's down short. Did he look short to you, Charles? I don't think they're going to challenge it.
It was close.
Of course, when Rob Noel's averaging 12.3 yards a carry, I don't think Houston's worried about a half a yard right now, as the Mickey Melillo extra point is good, and the Steamers have come out 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. They currently are averaging 8.4 yards a play. That is almost a 1st down. You're going to win any game averaging 8 yards a play.
Yeah, and Wigmore's just on fire. 7 of 8, 2 touchdowns. You can't ask for anything better from your quarterback in this first half.
Last season, these 2 teams met in Week 15 in Week 16 rather, and the Houston Headhunters were seeking. They had big aspirations in that final game of the season, and Bossier City, with nothing to play for except pride, went to Houston and won in a shootout, 44-37. Left a bad taste in the Headhunters' mouths, which didn't last. They started the season 6-0 as Sosa gets the carry for a pickup of 6, but they remember that game, and so far so good for the Steamers offense, who scored 77 points combined in the last 2 meetings.
What we need right here from Houston is a sustained drive here to give that defense of theirs a rest, because they've been playing react all night.
Hand off to Murray, and Murray's going to pick up the 1st down. The last Houston win over Bossier City was a 21-17 victory back in season 23. The last 7 times these 2 teams have played, the game has been decided by 9 points or less. These two very familiar with one another, and DR Sim is familiar with racking up more yards, picking up 8.
We're looking at back-to-back plays there where, good execution by the offense, moving the ball. And again, the key here is got to give that defense some rest.
On the last drive, Jack Wigmore eclipsed 45,000 career passing yards. He is 5th all-time in the league, and we congratulate Wigmore on that achievement. He actually did it the play just before the Vin Calia touchdown. 2nd down and 2, handoff to Sosa. He's going to push ahead, and he's actually rolled over the first down line. They're going to mark him short. I think that's another bad spot.
That is a horrible spot. Normally they give it to you when you do that rollover body move right there.
And again, no challenge by Houston. A very interesting no call here. 3rd down and inches for the Headhunters. 7:45 to go in the first half. Lakeman will hand it off up the gut. That is an easy first down for Houston to the 45-yard line. This Bossier City defense has Stephen Fellows II, Rob Foraker, Jesus Smith, and Jabu McSlim on the line. At linebacker, Bobby Green, Bogey Barr, and Freddie Trammell in the secondary. Michaela Foraker, Stuart Zamilia, Gunny McGuire, Billy Beers, and Zach Holdorf. This for Houston is they don't have a lot of depth at receiver. And in fact, I don't even have an 87 on my roster as Warren Murray takes off with that one to pick up 4.
I like what they're doing. I mean, they're not taking big chunks of yards, but it's sustained. And no, we're not looking at any losses so far. So far, so good. We got 6 minutes and 52 seconds, plenty of time to cut that lead down.
Just one negative play so far in this first half by either team. That's Sosa with another carry. 3rd down and 3. 11 runs to just 5 passes for Houston tonight.
Big 3rd down, early in this game for Houston. They got to keep the drive alive.
3rd down for Lakeman. Going to throw. Lakeman in the flat, and Bossier City's all over it. I thought he threw it a little too late. That's Bogey Barr, who's having himself a night, his 6th tackle already.
There was no time after that ball was thrown for the receiver to make any adjustments downfield. Bogey Barr just closed it down, was right in the helmet of the receiver, and just shut it down.
Hunt is a shank, but gets a favorable Houston bounce. Still, it's not even going to get inside the 20. And again, Sonny J not being in the lineup, Charles, a big loss for Houston tonight.
Tell you what, you got to look at the positives. They needed that bounce bad. It didn't look good where it hit. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a bad punt.
It was an 18-yard score, by the way, for Bossier City, so we'll get the updated numbers shortly. Right now, the Steamers are 2 for 2 on offense. Rob Noel gets a pitch to pick up 2 yards.
He's just trying to hurt people out there, be it shoulder pad, helmet, or stiff arm. He always leaves a mark on anyone trying to tackle him.
Steamers 5-5 this season. Their resume wins as they dump that one off into the flat. That's Noel. There's the stiff arm machine again, Charles. Down the sideline. And all the way up to about midfield, Rob Noel making the ordinary extraordinary.
And it looks like they sent the blitz in there, and that was a perfect play for that situation. And we saw a little bit of everything from Noel there. Nice route running, good catch, power, and then we saw a little bit of finesse there doing that little lower the shoulder pads to add another 6 yards to that catch.
Rob Noel so far tonight has 39 rushing yards, 27 receiving yards, 56 all-purpose yards. That is 23 less than Houston's team. As they hand it off to Nimchek, he breaks a tackle. That's a first down to the Houston 42-yard line.
It's a great luxury to have Nimchek coming in, giving Noel a breather, and just 10-yard, 11-yard run. That's a good bench, if you ask me.
Look at the updated total stat numbers here. 162 yards for Bossier City. They've only had the ball 3 times in the first half, but they're trying to make it 3 touchdowns on those possessions with 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go before halftime. Garrison Blue goes in motion. And the handoff. Up the middle, picks up 4 more to Rob Noel.
What we're seeing from Bossier City tonight is success on the ground, success in the air. Houston's trying. They're dialing it up. They're, laying back, and it doesn't look like anything's working for them.
2nd and 6. Toss. This time, Nimchek still somehow going to pick up positive yards, get 3. John Lakeman in his last time out, Charles, was 8 of 19 for 92 yards and 3 picks in that loss to Detroit. He's 5 of 6 for 39 yards so far tonight, but they haven't been on the field much.
Yeah, and, Nemchek is 70 pounds lighter than Noel, but it looked like he was 260 as well in that last run.
Hand off, and that is who was that? That is
William Henderson, the backup fullback.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't have that on my bingo card, and that picks up another Bossier City first down. Everybody's doing something.
When your fullback 2 comes out there and rattles off 12 yards, you gotta start throwing things around on the sideline, get something in the head of that defense.
.253 to go in the first half. Nickel look for Houston. They attack the ball carrier, and again, rolling forward. Peace could not stop Noel, a 4-yard gain.
I wonder if they practice that. When you get tackled, try and do the somersault and add another 5 yards to the run.
Bossier City did not skip leg day, and it's those 50-50 balls when you throw it up to the receiver. Well, these are 50-50 effort plays, and Bossier City is winning all those so far tonight. Gonzalez again pushing forward on Chris Henry, 1st and goal. The 50-50 effort plays, Charles, they're all the Steamers' way right now.
You and I have been doing games for a while, Kim, and you know how much I love it when they get the backs involved in the passing game, and we've been seeing it used to perfection tonight out of Bossier City.
Bossier City so far this season has 35 receptions to backs out of the backfield. In comparison, Houston has just 6. That is the 2-minute warning, and it is all Steamers tonight. Bossier City, a 3.5-point underdog here at home. They're trying to change the perception of just how threatening they can be in this playoff run. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular here on the Virtual Football Network. It is all Steamers here in the first half. The handoff goes to Noel down to about the 6-yard line.
They're built for this, Cam, so far. The playbook is they've got all the right plays to where they are in the field. They either pass it if they need to with those short dumps, or run it up the middle, power with any one of those backs in the backfield.
2nd and goal. Wigmore to throw. Wigmore again out of the backfield. Nimchek, this time he's going to lose yardage. Really good tackle by John Barnhart in the open field. 3rd and goal.
A fantastic tackle in the open field by Barnhart. That's what they need to do, and that's maybe put a little spark in that Houston defense, what they need late here in the first half.
They can hold the Steamers to 3. It's still a 2-score game. 3rd down, goal to go. Bossier City will get the ball to start the second half. Wigmore dropping a throw. Wigmore fires in the back of the end zone, incomplete. Had a couple of crossers, Bamfield and Kalia back there, but well defended by Houston. That'll force a field goal.
That was a huge stand there by the Houston defense. We were ragging on them all the first half, and they did what they needed to do. Minimize the bleeding to only potentially 3. So they're sitting at a decent spot here. On the road, they know what adjustments they're going to need to make at halftime, but man, it could have been a lot worse.
Jeff Bamfield was actually the one that kind of got in Kalia's way there in the back of the end zone as they ran into each other on the crosser. Mickey Melillo from left to right. That field goal is good from 24 yards out. So 24 and 17 off the board. Very traditional numbers here tonight so far in bingo. It's 17-3, and I think Houston kind of survives the first half as long as they don't do anything crazy in the last 62 seconds.
Yeah, it's based on where they are in the field. What they don't want to do is turn the ball over deep, in their own territory and give more opportunities for Bossier City. Tonight's numbers are 3, 7, 6, 28, 14, 18, 17, and 24. I don't know why I read that out of order.
They call that something, Charles, but they got a name for everything now. $5
Ask
super
my
chat.
daughters. They always identify my weaknesses.
$5 super chat from Mark Lopez. 69 viewers. Nice, but only 19 likes. That is not enough. Decimate that like button into the shadow realm, everyone. Decimate that like button. How about a Cameron Duty? Obliterate that like button.
Wow. You know, that is definitely, you can tell that post from Mark is has all of the makings of someone in higher education.
He definitely is that. Mark is the definition of higher education as far as I'm concerned. He's a smart dude. 30 seconds to go in the first half. 17-3 Steamers. Handoff Warren Murray. He's got a lot of space to the outside. And Houston's just running out the first half clock here.
Unless they call timeout and then try bomb downfield. We'll see.
Down to 12 seconds left. Draw. Sosa. And that'll be the end of the first half. And all things considered, Charles, I think Houston's got to feel pretty okay about all that. They did not play a very good first half, and they're down just 2 touchdowns. They need a big defensive stop to start the third quarter, but it's 17-3 at the half. Your first half thoughts?
Bossier City had a near perfect execution in the first half. Like you said, though, Houston's not out of it. They, this is a seasoned team. This is just a test for them. If they want to know, if they're contenders and how deep they can go in the playoffs, this is the type of position you got to show the league you can battle out of.
Sosa, 10 carries, 70 yards in the first half, according to the numbers from the game, which we have him for 39 yards on 9 carries. Either way, it's not like he's played bad, but Jack Wigmore's played better.
Definitely. Wigmore's he's showing us, the 12th season veteran, why he's as good as he is.
Your halftime player tonight is Jack Wigmore, 10 of 12 for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns, both Blue and Kalia with touchdown receptions, and Blue led the way with 59 receiving yards, but it's Rob Noel with his 76 all-purpose yards that stole the show in that first half. As I was saying earlier before Rob Noel rudely interrupted me, the Steamers at 5-5 have a win over Mexico City, have a win over Minnesota. Both of those teams are likely playoff bound. Minnesota still has some work to do. But they also have losses to Anchorage by 10 last week. Lost to Birmingham by 7 way back in week 1, which feels like an eternity ago, Charles. But this is a team that, feels like they're being overlooked.
Yeah, and, they've shown some pretty in some of the big games, they've shown that, how well they built out their roster, and how I think, the coach, Garrison Blue, I think he's an underrated coach. He's beat some of the best teams in the league, and, I can understand where he's coming from.
And he's retired now, which means that he has even more time to devote to coaching, and even less time to devote to his family and his friends and all that. No, we are very happy for Frank, too, that he is enjoying his retirement, as Jason Peace stops Noel for no yards, which is something we did not see very much in the first half.
Yeah, very little mistakes on either side of the ball, none as far as interceptions or fumbles. I threw it out there, but both of these quarterbacks are kind of limited to 2 receivers tonight. They got to spread it around a little bit more.
Wigmore on a screen to Noel, and Rob Noel made 2 people miss down the sideline, and then eventually one Mississippi has to clean him up. But wow, Noel, I said it in the first half. These are not elegant plays, but he's just making everything look good tonight.
Again, he's showing he can do everything. I mean, you think of him as a power back, but after he gets that ball, not only can he lower his shoulders or put the stiff arm out, he's also got some pretty agile moves to, gain extra yards and make that short little catch into a barn burner.
Houston is now going to challenge stepping out of bounds. The Headhunters just have not been able to figure out Bossier City's offense over the last year and a half in the SFL, as the Steamers try to make it 4 for 4 on possessions. Let's get another look at this down the sideline. I think they're challenging right.
He stepped out
here.
right there.
Did he?
Oh, wait a minute. How did he do that? What? What was that?
Wow. I don't know that he
Wait a minute.
did.
How did he turn his body around in the air like that? Wow,
It's
okay,
it's
good. I was
overturned.
gonna
I'm not really sure
recall.
where they're marking. I am baffled by that for a number of reasons, Charles.
Yeah, that was something you don't see every day.
I mean, fantastic body contortion there from Rob Noel. They're going to mark him down to the 42-yard line. It's really inconsequential as Houston's just looking for any kind of small victory here right now. But a first down and 10 at the Headhunter 42-yard line. Wigmore will toss this one out, and Rob Noel again outside is going to pick up 3 yards before Mississippi shoved him out of bounds.
It's got to be his 50th stiff arm tonight.
It's been the go-to. I mean, from the onset, Rob Noel this year. I mean, he's not lighting up the leaderboards or anything. He's 12th in the league in rushing yards. He does have 5 touchdowns, but this is a banner night for him as Wigmore looks for Garrison Blue. That one is knocked out of his hands. Just the second time he has failed to haul in a target. 3rd and 7.
I think Houston needed that small victory out there. Otherwise, they'd be going, come on, man, what do we got to do? Garrison Blue showed that he's actually human.
Wigmore, 11 of 14, 146 yards, a QBR near perfect, 149.7. They need him on this one as McBrownski goes in motion. This is Wigmore looking down the middle, wide open. Jeff Banfield to the 19-yard line, his first target and catch of the night. Bossier City hitting all the right buttons.
Another brilliant pass by Wigmore. He had the tackle, it looked like, coming right in his face, ready to lay some damage down, but found the gap there in that zone coverage and delivered a strike.
Barnhart got all kinds of turned around. I don't know if he was dropping back into a deeper zone or what, but Jeff Banfield picks up 21 yards, and the drive continues for Bossier City. Toss out to Robert Nemchek, and Mississippi cleans it up 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage.
I mean, Houston is showing, aggressiveness and mixing it up between aggressiveness, man coverage, zone coverage, but they just need a break at this point because it just looks like everything's falling, Bossier City's way.
2nd and 9, all the momentum with the Steamers. This is Wigmore dropping a throw. Wigmore to the end zone, off the hands of Kalia. He just flat out dropped it.
Yeah, he's going to be thinking about that one because that's the type of pass that we know Kalia has done in his experience in the SFL those 13 seasons.
One of those situations where it's almost like he was so focused on his feet that he lost the ball there for a sec.
Well, he was thinking about what Noel did on the sidelines about 4 plays ago.
He's still talking about it. 3rd down and 9, rollout. Wigmore, one-handed catch. Kalia catches the hard one.
There you go.
Not the easy one. 1st and goal down to about the 3.
That's what we expect out of Kalia, and that's what he's done his entire career. One-handed catch right in front of the defender, putting him in perfect position to put some points up.
Down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bossier City's 4th possession of the game, trying to make it 4 for 4 in scores. Wigmore going to take it himself and gets in for the touchdown. It is all Steamers in a shocker here on Monday night.
The only thing I could ding Bossier City for on that was that Wigmore waited till he hit the letters in the end zone to slide. A little late on that, but hey, put points up nonetheless.
Jack Wigmore on the rushing touchdown. That is his first of the season. 16 carries and 71 yards coming in. It's actually only his 5th career rushing touchdown. The 4-time All-Star, the season 17 MVP, and the Hall of Fame, the future Hall of Fame quarterback. 24-3. The number 2 is the only new number off your bingo card.
Yeah, perfect. Joking aside, that was a great, near perfect series for Bossier City. And like I said earlier in the game, Houston's got to find something. They are just on their heels on both sides of the ball. Tonight's numbers are 3, 6, 7, 28, 14, 18, 17, 24, and 2.
And if those numbers are not doing it for you, we got a second game coming up here on the Virtual Football Network. The St. Louis Rivermen take on the Dallas Talons. Coming up, a big battle in the East in the UFL. That kickoff is approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on VFN. Colin Northrup and Eric Vincent on the call from St. Louis. Always a raucous crowd there, as it is here in Bossier City. The Rivermen and the Steamers at home tonight. Lots of, what is that, nautic themes? Is that what they call that? Is that is a pass?
Nautical works too.
Nautical, there you go. Daisy Peace with his first catch of the night as Houston looks to open it up.
Yeah, let's see what kind of adjustments they made, and that was a big one, hitting Peace. Like you said, I think that's the first time he's been targeted tonight, and I think Lakeman's going to need to spread it around a little bit because they're shutting down, the likes of Sim and the tight end Peace as well.
Robert Brady's in the house. His Rivermen in action later. 6:42 to go in the third. A little bit of life here from Lakeman and the Headhunters offense as Sosa picks up one. Lakeman is 6 of 7 for 59 yards.
And not bad at all. Just we didn't see a lot of the passing early in the game that we were expecting, and when he does pass, he executes.
Second down and 9. The draw play to Sosa, and he's just shy of the first down. 3rd and inches coming up.
Let's see what they do here. Plenty of options for Lakeman. Maybe he'll run a sneak and show Wigmore that he can do that as well.
Lakeman so far this season, 29 carries, 139 yards. And the line shifts for Bossier City to try to protect that front. 3rd down and inches. They're going to toss the opposite direction to Warren Murray. That's a great play call from Houston, moving the chains.
Yeah, all across the board. Perfect execution from snap through blocking, and great way to hit that edge quickly for the running back Murray.
Bunch set to the right side on a draw. There's no way that's a 5-yard gain. That is a long 4 for Tino Sosa.
It's a robust 4.
My goodness. That's some type of rounding up right there. 2nd and a long 5 as Lakeman will fire it out to the backfield. That is Hattori Hanzo with the reception, and that is just his 2nd catch of the season.
And that's, I think, is a effective tool in the toolkit there. Hanzo's, he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. Has been, like you said, been pretty quiet this season. And that's the type of thing we're looking for as far as adjustments from Houston. That was, I think it caught the defense off guard as well.
His first one of the season went for 3. That one went for much more as Houston has the ball at the Bossier City 23. Went for 12 yards. This kind of feels like the Headhunters moment here. The handoff goes to Sosa, breaking off a tackle. Tino Sosa getting 9 yards. 2nd and 1 coming up.
And it looks like that offensive line and the tight ends for Houston are just, got a little bit extra juice in the tank, and they are, laying the hit down on the defense of Bossier City.
4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter.
For a toss again, I think.
And this time, Bossier City, they're looking outside. They were stunting to the outside, waiting for Warren Murray. If Houston would have run right up the gut, Bossier City would have been in trouble. They guessed right. Jabu McSlim on the tackle.
I don't know if he's legally allowed to use the last name McSlim when he's 6'4", 338.
That is Lakeman on the throw.
Nice.
DR Simeon, Dr. Sim.
Oh.
DR Sim with a touchdown, and it's 24-9. Boy, did Houston need that one.
Yeah, 7th touchdown for Sim. I tell you what, that is just on the same level as those outstanding catches we saw from the tight end on Bossier City. Right there, perfect, just turns his hands just barely to the quarterback, and he knows that the ball's going to get there accurately.
That's a 17-yard score, so we'll double it to 34 for your first bonus number of the night. And the extra point is up and good for Houston, so 10's off the board. And, despite not getting a single defensive stop in this game, unless you count a field goal as a defensive stop, Houston's right in this thing.
They are in it. Yeah, we've got a game cam. Only down by 2. The pressure's back on the defense to see if they can slow down this tough Bossier City offense.
Now,
tonight's numbers are 3, 6, 7, 28, 14, 18, 17, 24, 2, and 10.
Now, can Houston's defense just find some magic? They just have not had it tonight. 274 total yards of offense for Bossier City. The crazy thing is that the Steamers have only had the ball 4 times in this game up to this point. That was Houston's 5th possession, so it's a very methodical game by both squads. Here we go. Handoff to Rob Noel. That picks up 3 to start the drive.
Well, I tell you what, the Houston defense, when they tackle and when they defend, they're very physical. And that type of defensive play tends to wear out the offense late in the game. So let's see if that makes an impact on the field.
3.5 to go in the third. Robert Nimchek gets a couple more, so a big third down coming up for Bossier City. They are 5 of 7 on third down, including 4 for 4 in the last 2 quarters.
One of the things, those short passes that they've been so successful with in this game really puts the defense, on edge, trying to figure out whether they should expect a run or a pass at this point.
DR Sim with that last catch. He was clutch in the win for Houston over Minnesota. On a Hail Mary as time expired. That's Garrison Blue down the field, breaking a tackle, and he is their own answered prayer tonight. A 1st and goal just like that for Bossier City.
That is just insane. I mean, the coverage wasn't bad, I don't believe. Let's see here. They had it looked like there was maybe a late reaction there by Henry, but man, Houston is doing everything they can to try and slow them down. But, man, when you're hitting on all cylinders like Bossier City is, it's tough.
4th 100-yard game of the season for Garrison Blue. 1st and goal, 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Toss it out to Nimchek, and Houston sends 3 bodies at him, including Kai Cash, for a minimal gain.
That's just the markings of a well-coached team there. They're still flying around, trying to hurt the offensive players.
2 minutes to go, third quarter. Teixeira in motion for Bossier City. 334 yards of total offense. Rob Noel with the stiff arm machine once again, but John Barnhart cleans that one up. Another third down coming up for Houston's defense.
That's the type of play we didn't really see in the first half. It was normally one-on-one against Noel, and after he got 8-9 yards, then the rest of the buddies on defense came in to help. Barnhart didn't let that happen on that play.
Roll out Wigmore, touchdown! Aiden Teixeira in for the score. The Steamers offense can do no wrong tonight as Teixeira gets his first touchdown of the season.
We talked about sprinting around, and why not? When you got Teixeira there, the rookie, he can catch it in a tight situation in the bright lights on Monday night. Just a great route run, and his quarterback set him up for the perfect pass.
Teixeira, 12 catches for 223 yards so far this season, and he gets his first score on the board. The rookie for Bossier City, undrafted, makes it 31-10. 5 drives, 4 touchdowns, and a field goal for Bossier City.
Again, flawless. I've said this a couple times tonight. Near flawless series by Bossier City.
That pressure back on Houston's offense, as it has been much of the night. That was a 7-yard score for Bossier City, but 31 does come off the board. So we'll get that updated. But, man, I mean, it might play into the hands of Houston. Lakeman's been great tonight. 8 of 9 for 89 yards. But they're going to hand it off on a draw. Sosa's got a little bit of space. He's been pretty good, too. First down, Sosa now up to 73 yards on 14 carries. I mean, when you look at this Houston box score for the offense, Charles, I mean, they're playing a pretty good game, but they're down by 21.
I mean, all they can do is execute when they get the ball. And, 8 for 9 for Lakeman and 144.9 QBR. You can't fault him at all. I don't see anything he's doing wrong.
Handoff, Warren Murray around the left side. That's a 5-yard gain as we approach the end of the third quarter.
21 points, Cam. This is a big mountain to climb up, but they're loaded for it. We're just trying to see how it's going to show us how deep they can go in the playoffs. I think after this game's over.
2nd and 5, handoff to Sosa. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short. I mentioned that Hail Mary earlier, Charles. If they had not converted on that Hail Mary against Minnesota, Houston would have been coming into this game losers of 4 straight. They just have not been able to find that first half season magic, and they got Fort Worth, another big divisional rival, next week. This is Warren Murray on the toss, and he just did get the first down. Whew!
Great effort by Murray. I mean, that edge shut down, and you had 3-4 defenders there to stop it, and all effort by Murray.
Put your 4s up and all the numbers of those we've lost over the years in the SFL as we enter the fourth quarter of play. J.W. Hartshorn, Ellie Diomas, Ron Haynes, Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine, all with you here tonight as part of our Monday Night Spectacular crew, as John Lakeman will start the fourth quarter under center, trailing by 21. Wanting some answers. Handoff to Sosa, and Sosa is going to pick up 6 yards.
And he's having a pretty solid game tonight as well. I mean, I don't believe he has not made it in the end zone, but he's at 5.1 yard per carry.
2nd and 4. How long can Houston keep this up? They definitely need a touchdown on this drive here. Murray's got a first down again at the 45-yard line. With the run game working as well as it has tonight, Charles, it's not like you can just totally abandon it right now. 110 rushing yards on the ground.
And you can tell you've got a good run game going, where I think everyone in the stadium and watching from home knew where that play was going, and Bossier City still couldn't stop it.
Toss to the left. Tino Sosa picking up 4. Sosa and Noel are over 80 all-purpose yards tonight, so we're going to double their numbers and go 40 and 42 as a bonus number double. 2nd and 6, 8:50 to go in the fourth. Another toss. Warren Murray to the left side, breaks a tackle. Murray, 30. Murray down to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 Headhunters.
I mean, between Murray and Noel, they are putting on a show running the ball there. I mean, and not only you got to give props to the blocking on the edge for both teams, but it's what they do once they get past the line of scrimmage. The athleticism, the strength, able to add 5, 8, 10 yards to the end of that run.
Both teams over 100 rushing yards. Both teams with at least 13 first downs. Neither team has turned the football over, and Bossier City has scored on every possession. This is Lakeman's pass over the middle, incomplete as Chima got popped. He's only got 1 catch for 5 yards tonight on 3 targets.
And that was Fab 5'6" Freddie there on that coverage. And when Freddie's going to hit you, you're going to need some Advil or Tylenol on the sideline.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. 8:18 left in the fourth quarter. Lakeman now 8 of 10. That was just his 2nd incompletion. Lakeman's pass is intercepted. That's the first turnover of the night, and it is taken away by Michaela Foraker. First down, Bossier City, and that is a crushing blow to the Headhunters.
Yeah, first mistake of the night for the quarterback for the Headhunters. Lakeman threw into tight coverage, and Foraker was not going to let that happen. It just brought it in. 2nd interception for the season. Huge play for Bossier City, and the fans at home are loving it.
First down and 10 at the 12. 8:13 to go in the fourth quarter. After that interception, the fans certainly loving this, Charles, as Bossier City is on their way. Don't want to say it too soon, but on their way to 6-5, and they did it by scoring over 30 again at home. They are number one in the league, averaging 36.3 points per game at home this season. They have been tremendous in this building.
It's amazing. It's a 6-spot swing from, overall to at home.
They average their 12th on the road in points per game at 25.2, which is a completely different it's just a completely different conversation. When you talk about home field advantage, some teams tend to perform remarkably better than others at home, and Bossier City's one of those teams this season. As that pass is nearly intercepted, boy, Peace needed to wrap his hands on that. However, it is a stop for the Houston defense.
It was a huge stop, and I hate to say it, a bit of not lucky, but a good bounce for Houston. Garrison Blue was wide open at the top of the screen on the sidelines. If he would have caught that ball, I think we've been looking at 6.
First punt of the night for Bossier City, and that kind of saves Houston's opportunity at a comeback here. 7:08 to go. They're certainly not out of it yet. So Milia on the tackle. Bossier City's got Carolina next week as they try to finish things off. Fort Worth and Houston also play. They're both in the same time block, the first block on Saturday, and the week starts with Arizona and Anchorage out west. And a funny thing about the West Division, as Lakeman's going to roll out and complete that one to midfield. Charles, if all 4 teams in the West, Arizona, Anchorage, Washington, and Vancouver, were to finish 7-5, Arizona would win the division on division record and their head-to-head over Anchorage this week if that is the scenario that were to play out. So Arizona still has division title hopes, but Vancouver would need to lose and Washington would need to beat Mexico City. Sosa's got a first down.
I think all those teams in the division are kind of looking inward to see what they need to do to finish strong.
And Vancouver just needs a win over Oklahoma City, and Anchorage needs a win over Arizona and a loss by Vancouver. That is their path to a division win. Washington just hoping to clinch a spot of their own at 6-5 after that shocking loss in an upset-filled Week 14, Charles.
Definitely, and Houston, time's not their friend at this point. I think they're going to need to start thinking about taking out the running game and looking for things deeper downfield and put some points up quickly.
5:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Houston going to kick it into gear in about 40 seconds from now, but that interception on the last drive really hurt him from a time perspective. There's DR Sim with a catch, though, for a first down.
It's trademark Sim in a pack of defenders, jumping up, showing his hops, able to bring that ball in. Well, maybe not so much hops, but hey, that's more like a Charles hop right there.
That's an old man hop. But no, I'm not saying. Well, actually, all right. Let me rephrase. That did not come out right. Charles is really going to rake me over the coals for this one. It was more about Sim than it was about. I'm never going to come back from this. Nice. Tino Sosa picks up 4 yards.
Nice run, catch him off guard, but again, got to think about putting it in that end zone here quickly.
Down to 5 to go. This will be the last play prior to the no huddle for Houston. I formation here for the Headhunters at the Bossier City 27. Lakeman going to drop the throw. That pass is caught by Sim. And here we go at the 14-yard line. Sim with the reception. 4:45 to go in the fourth quarter. And Lakeman's got to get rid of it quick. They're all over it. Hanzo steps out of bounds, though, at least stops the clock after a pickup of 1.
That's a veteran move there. 245 fullback. It's going to be hard to keep him in bounds if he wants to get out.
Sosa is in the backfield, 92 yards on 19 carries, 110 all-purpose yards. DR Sims, the leading receiver, 52 yards on 4 catches. Lakeman to throw, in zone, and it is knocked away. That was a tight window that Sim almost came down with, but Zach Holdorf with the deflection.
Yeah, another good play there by Holdorf. Seen a couple plays tonight in that end zone where Holdorf just, shut it down, said, not in my zip code.
4:36 to go. Third down for Houston. They are 5 of 9 on third down. They are 6 of 6 this season on fourth down. Keep that in mind as Lakeman rolls to his left. That is incomplete, and here we go. This is probably a go-for-it situation.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to think about that. I mean, you could also just put the points up and roll the dice, see if you can get the ball back.
Oh, I don't. Down 21. What's a field goal going to do?
I don't know.
They're going. Houston, perfect 6 for 6 on fourth downs this season. That is first in the league with 6 conversions. Can they do it again on 4th and 9? They need the 4-yard line. Play action rollout. Lakeman wobbler is incomplete. He got walloped by McSlim on the back end of that play. Turnover on downs.
And we could hear the footsteps up here, Cam. Holy smokes, that's going to keep a quarterback up at night.
And the sad thing is, Charles, I think he had a guy open. I think that little comeback route was going to be completed, but McSlim puts the pressure on, and Bossier City comes up with 2 pivotal stops here in the fourth quarter.
The only thing missing was the pearl tusks and the water coming out of the snout on that run.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line, and Wigmore is going to come out firing. That is caught by Blue for a Bossier City first down.
They're built tonight. They're built for this situation, Cam. They've been running it to perfection. I think they surprised them with that pass play. What they don't want to do is, they want to kind of step on the head of the snake at this point and use that running game and just drain the clock out.
Wigmore's still not a perfect QBR rating. He's 1.8 away. What else does he have to do? 16 of 21 for 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, yet somehow that is not considered a perfect quarterback. I don't understand it as the toss play goes out to Rob Noel. Make it make sense, Charles.
I'm comfortable saying he had a near-perfect game, but apparently there's other people that pressing it.
Bossier City's going to get to 6-5. This is a monster win for them. The Bossier City Steamers now climb into they stay in a 3-way tie for 9th. Arizona, Minnesota, Bossier City all with 6 wins. Now Albuquerque also has 6 wins but also 6 losses. And so they sit on the outside looking in at 12th right now as the handoff goes up the middle. But the interesting thing, Charles, is Arizona, Minnesota, and Bossier City, if they all finish with 7 wins, throw Washington into the mix as well at 6-5. If they all finish with 7 wins, one 7-5 team is not going to make the playoffs, and that's probably Minnesota, who has no wins against playoff caliber teams this year.
That's a lot of information you dumped on me. I don't have time to digest it.
Sorry to have overwhelmed you, Charles.
Wow.
Third down and 3 as Wigmore tosses that one out to Rob Noel, and he is short of the sticks. I'm going to let JW pick the bonus number tonight since he wants the 4th. I usually give out 1 bonus number a quarter, so you're right, you are owed 1 more. But JW gets the honor tonight. It pays to be a part of the work and effort of the Virtual Football Network, and he's picking 33. So if you don't like 33 as a bonus number, you can blame JW. As we've hit the 2-minute warning.
We'll be posting his address up here shortly.
His home address coming to a DM near you. That's hilarious. Handoff up the middle. That was a 4th and 1 conversion for Bossier City. They say enough of Houston. We're done with this team.
And that was a statement right there. I mean, that's the offensive linemen have got to be on cloud 9. I mean, they did a near perfect game with their both on the pass side and the run side.
Bossier City stopped just 1 time tonight, and I guess they'd be stopped a second time if they are taking knees at the end of this one. They got to pick up 1 more first down. Noel can't get away, so Houston will call their second timeout. Coming up next week, Charles, we've got 6-5 Washington, 8-3 Mexico City. Who's going to win the South? Is it going to be Mexico City? Maybe Birmingham, perhaps. The Hellhounds play on Saturday against Florida. And then for Washington, you know, the Trident have lost 2 straight. This is not the time to be going on a losing streak as Houston is, wow, Speedy Gonzalez. What a great block on the end. That was Garrison Blue, Charles, and this game is over.
And that was, I mean, I love it. The great playbook there by Garrison Blue. I mean, those short passes have just been so dangerous tonight, you know, among other things. But, man, we don't see that a lot in these games, Cam. I just love it when it's executed to perfection, that short passing game to the backs.
So the pressure is on Washington next week to try to pick up a win. Charles, it should be a fantastic scene down in Mexico for the final game of the season next week.
Yeah, I love this part of the season where, you know, it's so crazy, and there's so many different variables, different options that can happen in the, as far as the playoff, positioning. It's what makes this league great.
Of course, Birmingham has the inside track on the south. They bludgeoned the Mexico City Aztecs earlier this season, so the Aztecs would need a Birmingham at this point now that Houston is not necessarily 100% out of contention, but they certainly put themselves in a bind now at 7-4. They would need a lot of help and a bunch of tiebreakers to even potentially do it. But I digress. Considering that probably is not going to happen, Birmingham would just need a win over Florida to win the South, and then Mexico City would need a win and a Birmingham loss to make that happen. 3rd down and 13 as victory formation is happening.
You use it like Mike said in chat, the bludgeon, Cam. Come on now, that's a little extreme. There's kids at home watching.
I gotta admit, I did see him in the chat, and I told you, Charles, I woke up and chose violence this morning.
I need to say eviscerate.
That's a great word. That's a collegiate word.
See?
Yeah, I like that.
Where's Lopez?
31-10, Bossier City all over Houston tonight, and they made quick work of the Steamers in just a little over, or of the Headhunters rather, in just a little bit over an hour. 31-10, Bossier City all over the Headhunters tonight, who have dropped 4 out of 5 with their only win, a Hail Mary buzzer beater in Minnesota. Charles, your final thoughts on the game and your player of the game tonight?
Tip of the cap to Garrison Blue. What a great playbook on offense and defense. Put some wrinkles in there that I wasn't expecting. I'm not sure. I don't know if Damon was expecting on Houston, but I would give the game ball to Jack Wigmore. A near perfect game, like you said, but man, he just kept steady under some pressure by a tough defense from Houston. Able to get 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, just an incredible night for him. Other players played well, like Noel and, obviously Garrison Blue as well. But, man, great execution on both sides of the ball, but I'm going to give it to Rick.
31-10, Bossier City beats Houston to improve to 6-5. We'll see you back here on Friday for more SFL action as we start Week 15. SFLM Week 7 is on Tuesday and Thursday. The UFL is coming up next as your Monday bingo cards continue to roll. Dallas at St. Louis right here on VFN at the bottom of the hour. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.